In this video, we're going to install that alternator, and as I've indicated, that they jerry-rigged or just made it work. So there are some things that I have to do to make this install a little more professional looking. So I've put the original V-belt on to give you an indication of how far I have to move this alternator to get it to line up with the new pulleys. But I also want to show you some of the other things that they've done in order to get this thing to fit originally. So in order to do that, I want to pull this alternator off that I put on temporarily so that I can show you some of the things that they did to get it to fit in there originally. Now what they did is they drilled a through hole through the mounting plate as opposed to leaving it threaded. That's going to work okay. I'm not going to have a lot of issues with that, but it just changes how I do the install. So the first thing I want to show you is this mounting plate. Now this mounting plate goes on the front of the engine, and it is what attaches the engine to the motor mounts. And what they did is they cut away that engine mounting plate so that that alternator would fit down inside of there in order to do it. Now it's pretty ragged, it's pretty ugly, and I'm thinking I'm going to go in there and see if I can't clean it up with a grinder or a file or something to make it look a little bit neater. And by grinding it, it really does thin out that mounting plate where it fits to the motor mounts. But I'm not going to get too excited about it. Apparently, it's been working pretty well for these years, so I'm going to leave that alone. So the other thing that they did on this battery pan is the same thing. They sort of cut away some material so that that alternator can fit in there without interference as well. That's pretty sharp. Same thing. I'm going to try to go in there and grind that or file that so that looks a little bit better. One of the biggest pieces of jerry-rigging that they did is right here on this mounting boss on the alternator, and apparently there was some interference that they had to deal with, along with cutting away that motor mounting plate. And apparently in order to do this, they just took the alternator onto a bandsaw and just cut away that excess material. Now the problem with that is it's not very clean, but beyond that, it's also ragged, so that when we mount this to that engine mounting plate, the thing rocks. In order to fix this, what I'm going to do is bring it down to my shop, mount it on my Bridgeport, and try to mill that away square. The plan is to locate and mount this on that shaft so that when I mill this, that boss will be perpendicular to that shaft. So when I mount it onto that plate, I'm pretty confident that at that point the belt will track true with all of the pulleys. Let's move this all down to the shop and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. I've mounted the alternator in the vise of the Bridgeport, and I clamped the shaft in a set of V-blocks, and hopefully that'll get that thing as vertical as I can get it and get it as aligned to the shaft as I can. Now the other thing that I did is, using a dial indicator, I checked the mounting boss to make sure that it was parallel across or level across, and that gives me some more confidence that this thing is when I cut this, it's going to be perpendicular to the shaft itself. The cutter that I'm using, it's not a perfect cutter, but it's the only one that I had that was long enough to extend from the bottom of the collet to the mounting boss. I'm not really worried about it because it is aluminum that I'm cutting, and I'm only taking small amounts of material, so it should work fine. In fact, I'm only getting it up into the collet about an inch, but it should hold the cutter solid enough for the amount of material that I'm taking off. Let's get this thing cut. Unfortunately, the shaft of the cutter is larger than the cutter itself, so I can only get so close to the alternator. So I've got a little bit of a step there. I don't know if that's going to allow me enough clearance when I mount it to that engine plate, but we're going to give it a try. We may have to make some other modifications a little bit later. I'm not quite deep enough yet. I'm going to have to go probably another 15 or 20 thousandths deeper. So let's do that. This is not a perfect way to do this, but I think it's going to work. What I did was I turned those V-blocks on end, so I've now mounted the shaft to the vise at the end, and I'm using these clamps to keep the alternator from shucking or rotating while I'm cutting. Again, I'm not taking a lot of material off, so I think if I just take like 5 or 10 thousandths at a time, I can get down through this and get that entire boss cut away, so I've got a nice flat mounting surface when I mount it to the engine. All right, I'm going to deburr this and bring it up and see how it fits the Jeep. I think we've got a winner here. I mentioned to you in the last video that I had to build a standoff to push that alternator out so that the new pulley aligns with the pulley on the new water pump. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I have a piece of 1-inch steel that I got to make that standoff. So the bolt that I'm going to use is this black oxide Allen head cap screw. And when I measure it, it measures 370 thousandths. So the drill that I'm going to use is 372 thousandths, and that should leave me enough clearance to get that cap screw through and a little bit of wiggle room so I can move things if I have to. I'm going to start out using this counterbore drill, and the counterbore drill is rigid enough that I can begin to poke the hole where I want it, and that'll give a good starting location for the 372 drill. So let's go ahead and do that. So I marked the location of the hole on that 1-inch block, and the only thing I have to do right now is to get the counterbore centered to that mark so that when I drill, it's located properly to the alternator. I'm probably spinning the drill a little bit too fast, but I'm not going to be doing a lot of drilling, so I think this will work fine. All right, that's good. So the next thing I need to do is go mount this to the alternator in the engine support bracket and see how much I have to mill away thickness-wise so that those pulleys align. It's difficult to tell exactly how much I need to remove to get that perfect alignment, but it looks like it's about 62 thousandths. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to remove 62 thousandths, and then we'll take it back up, mount it again, and then test it and see if we have to make any other adjustments. So let's go ahead and do that. I normally cut wood, So my RPMs when I'm cutting wood has to be fairly fast, but I've slowed it down for cutting the steel, so my RPMs aren't quite as fast as they were when I was drilling it. And I'm also using a carbide end mill, which will help take the heat of the cut better. I'm taking this off in 10,000ths increments. That's going to help preserve the cutter by not overheating it. It's also a little easier on this old Bridgeport. Yeah, I know, there's a whole bunch of you out there saying, how come you're not using a power feed? Well, power feeds are expensive. And doing this by hand is sort of visceral. You get to feel the cutter going through the metal. That is machining. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. This was some work, but I think the results are night and day from where we began. We've managed to get this alternator moved out so that it's now in alignment with all the 5/8 pulleys. In order to do that, I had to make two standoffs. The first standoff is down under here, and I showed you how that was machined. The second standoff that I made is this bushing that pushes this alternator tensioning arm out in alignment with the new location of the alternator. One of the struggles that I had was finding the right length belt for this. This is a non-standard installation. 3 different belt lengths, and I was finally able to come up with one that was the right length, but that I could also stretch over that pulley. And there's not a lot of adjustment on this alternator. There's too much interference. So I had to actually stretch the belt a little bit up over that pulley. Now this 5/8 belt is a heavy belt and it does not want to stretch. So we managed to get it done, we managed to get it on, and it looks fantastic. That ends this episode. I'm going to reinstall the radiator, reinstall the hoses, fire this thing up, make sure that new water pump doesn't leak. When we come back, the plan is to go back to the beginning where we started this whole thing, installing these felt air deflectors onto that front grille. Like all the YouTubers tell you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.